Hi, I'm Chart Gal Lori, and I'm part of the Chart Guys community. I've been a trader and technical analyst for 8 years, and we're going to go over some charts today. The price action that happened today, Thursday, January 25th, 2024. Let me reduce the size of my face. So today we had GDP. GDP came in a little bit hotter than anticipated at 3.3. We had initial jobless claims. They came in a little higher than anticipated as well. But more importantly, tomorrow we have PCE. PCE is a more important econ data than GDP. It has the ability to move the market more than GDP did today, so remember that. And right now we have Intel earnings, WDC earnings, and Visa earnings. So let's just kind of go over the price action today. And I guess as a technical analyst, we're historians. So I'm going over the history of what happened today and then how can we use that information going forward. So initially we stopped and we bounced here on QQQ at yesterday's low of day. So the red line is the prior day's low. We bounced and that somewhat saved the market, and then we rolled over. QQQ lost the prior day's low. Well, what happened to SPY? How was SPY able to save the day? SPY stopped to the penny at yesterday's close, 485.39 to the penny, and bounced. We did not break the prior day low on SPY. SPY has an inside day. And I see this happen often ahead of big data, which PCE is bigger than GDP. It's a hurry up and wait type day. And that's what happened today. So let me show you. So SPY was an inside day. All right. In Q, if you look at it, we only broke the prior low by $10. That is not a bear break on a $17,000 instrument. That's an inside day. So for all intents and purposes, NASDAQ futures had an inside day. IWM, inside day. And the Dow, it broke below just by a little bit. I wouldn't call it an inside day though. So overall, it was hurry up and wait. And I like to say in the room and on pregame, inside days lead to lower volumes. It leaves the bulls and bears probing for liquidity. And when you see those wicks, that's the syringes going into those blocks and absorbing those sell orders to the top side and absorbing those buy orders to the bottom side. So you're constantly probing for liquidity, and you have quick misdirection cues. And I like to say it's like a drunk girl walking home from the bar in high heels, like going all over the place. And you look at SPY on shorter term time frames, you're like, what the heck was going on here? Look at all the misdirection. We had tons of misdirection because we were an inside day, lower volume. All right. XLV, I'm going over my notes. Well, let's stop here at VIX. So VIX overall held support yesterday, and that marked the low as we discussed. We're bouncing. We are looking for a daily lower high, which would be good for the market, and we're looking for a 4-hour lower high. The dollar was super strong today. It came on really strong. It was unable to get through daily resistance. It is in a 4-hour uptrend, however, so that weakened the overall market. Looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin was weak today. If you look at the hourly EMAs, they're overhead and they're overpriced. We closed red today. Look at Mara and Riot. They closed green and big. They didn't even break the prior day low. Mara didn't break the prior day low. Bitcoin, I mean, 39,000 overnight. Yeah, 39,500. So it was really weak. The crypto miners held up unusually strong today. So that's just something to watch tomorrow. It was very bizarre to watch Mara, Riot, Coin hold up better than Bitcoin. XLC got a new all-time high today. Excuse me, no, it got a new 52-week high. Sorry about that. And in XLC, we have Google, which got a new all-time high today, Netflix, Meta. So overall, CMCSA had earnings, I believe. T had earnings this week. Verizon had earnings. So they had an overall good day. So XLC got a new 52-week high. XLE really turned on the jets today with oil strength. Really closed strong, trying to get over the daily 50 MA. XLF got a new 52-week high today. And that is not an all-time high. 38.61 is your next resistance. very strong. XLV was the leader to the downside. We got a lower low, but I'm always careful about these tiny lower lows without follow through. It could be a weekly bull flag, so we need to be careful. If we go back over here to FinViz in the heat map, Humana had earnings. They were down 11%. So it really weighed heavily on the sector, and it pulled down XLV, and XLV weighed on the market in addition to Tesla. So weekly bull flags still possible. I'm not getting overly bearish on healthcare just because it got a lower low on the daily. Consumer discretionary, lower low, and I am going to be bearish on it more so than others. Main holdings are Amazon and Tesla. And as we know, Tesla is really weighing on consumer discretionary. Gold had a sideways day with the dollar strong, not a bad performance. Oil, very strong. Daily higher high, weekly higher high, getting over the weekly 200 MA. Oil really put on a performance today, and that helped the XLE stocks. Apple broke the low of the prior day. It was somewhat weak. It held up early in the morning. It was strong, and then it rolled over to relative weakness. So just think about it. SPY had an inside bar, NASDAQ had an inside bar, but Apple didn't. That shows the relative weakness. Google made a new, let me check myself, make sure. Yeah, made a new all-time high today and then gave it back, but it held up a lot better than most of the names. Look how it didn't even come close to yesterday's open once it got that initial spike. So definitely stronger than most. Microsoft got a new all-time high and gave a lot of it back. Still held yesterday's low though. Nvidia, inside bar. Big range, big average true range on this name, but it's an inside bar. It feels like it was somewhat bearish, but see the yellow candle? That's just an inside bar. SMCI, inside bar. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this chart. We're holding these EMAs just fine. Semis had a peak above and fail, and I think that was partly due to AMD strength early on. AMD had a new all-time high, and semis responded to that, but AMD couldn't hold it, and neither could NVDA. So semis peak above and fail is what I like to call that. Tesla, super weak. Your next support you have is at 178.22. That's the next support below 180 psychological. And I always pay attention to these psychological round numbers when it comes to Tesla because they come into play more often than not. So if I had to guess today what was going to hold 183, 182, 181, I would have guessed 180 because it loves psychological round numbers. MSOS, nice close. We got over the high of the prior day. We closed up near the high of day. We didn't have the volume there that you would want to see. It was just close to average. But overall, this is a very healthy chart. Affirm was our Queen of the Mountain trade that I posted in our chat room this morning. This is what I was looking at. This 1 hour downtrend. We're looking for a daily higher low, so I was cautious. However, I was looking to short this downtrend line and it worked out very, very well. The next Queen of the Mountain trade that we had was Roblox. Roblox, what we were looking for is if you look at it on the daily, the 50 MA, the yellow line right there, that's a simple moving average, was overhead. That is a synthetic resistance. And what I wanted to look for was this daily, sorry about all the lines, but the daily 50 MA was overhead and we had this intraday resistance of 41.62. We peaked above that and failed, and that was a great short. A lot of our members got that one. And then Uber, I did not get this one. I was kind of frustrated because this was a really good setup. We had a potential daily bull flag with an hourly falling wedge. And so I posted all of this in pre-market in the TCG room, and then we broke out up 3.5% today. So that really worked. And then finally, CMPS. This is a psychedelic name. And this weekly chart's beautiful. Little inverse head and shoulders. Volume picked up double the normal volume today. It didn't have the close that bulls would have liked to have seen near the high of day, but I would keep this one on watch for sure. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you want to give me a follow on Twitter at ChartGuy that would be great. And I will see you TCGers in the room. Use stop losses.